A long, long time ago, way back when I was in college, I was at this party, a Halloween party, and I was talking to this girl, a gorgeous girl, wearing this very tight, very red devil costume. And at the end of the conversation, I asked for her phone number. And the way she responded told me that I was in like Flynn. This was in the bag. I said, why don't we exchange numbers? And her face immediately went, oh, okay. And I thought, this is going to be awesome. But this was before cell phones. This was before the internet. This was long before social media. And I thought to myself, I'll just remember the number because that's how smart I am. I was in Vegas once with a friend of mine. We had left after work, and at the time we lived about a 4-hour drive from Vegas, so we got there after work, and we'd been gambling all night. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'd been drinking because they give you free alcohol in Vegas, and what are you going to do? But he doesn't drink. And we were having this deep philosophical conversation at one of those restaurants where they sell $1.99 steak and eggs or $2.99 steak and eggs. And he mentioned casually that tomorrow you're not going to remember any of this. And I said, I prove it to you. I will remember everything. Give me a 10-digit number. And I will remember the number exactly tomorrow. Just write it down, tell me the number. I only need to hear it once, and I'll spit out that same number tomorrow because I had just learned this new memory trick and I was eager to show it off to somebody, and this was the perfect opportunity. The most powerful, the easiest to learn technique to improve your conversational skills is also the easiest to forget. I'm talking about body language rapport. Everybody knows about body language rapport. You know about body language rapport. When you create body language rapport, when you simply match their body language, and just do that, nothing more complicated, just match their body language, this will create a channel of familiarity, a channel of comfort upon which you can build a fantastic conversation, upon which you can build a fantastic conversation based on conversational vibing, where you share things about each other. You kind of implicitly share your worldview by the stories and the anecdotes and the memories that you share with each other and the things that you like and dislike. Another reason that body language rapport works so well is because you're outside of your head focusing on your body during the conversation. And so that focus away from your brain into your body keeps your brain out of going on those doom loop tangents where you worry about what's going to say and who's going to say what and what you should say in response. But even so, it's still hard to remember body language rapport, because this is something that is usually unconscious. Our words are conscious, our body language is unconscious. A good technique to train yourself to not only remember body language rapport, but to be much more open to the conversational flow is this exercise. Go somewhere in public where a lot of people are sitting down, and then sit down and pick somebody over there or wherever and look at them through your peripheral vision. Don't look at them directly, and match their body language. Just move whenever they move. Just copy whatever they do. And while you're doing that, take a piece of paper and a pen and write down a whole bunch of ideas, things you could say during a conversation, questions you could ask, things about yourself that you could share. This is not to come up with a list to later memorize. This is just to train your subconscious to open up the flow from your subconscious to your conscious during a conversation. This is to train in the relationship, the anchor between body language rapport and all these ideas that you have about yourself that you could share during a conversation. And if you do this a couple of times a week, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you'll train yourself so next time you have a conversation, next time you'll remember to use body language rapport, you'll remember that trigger and all those ideas will come flooding through you. So it's important when you're doing this exercise, when you're writing down all these ideas, to not inhibit yourself, not censor yourself. Just write whatever comes to mind, no matter what it is, then throw that list away and start with the next one. The process is to train your brain to open up the manifold between your vast unconscious mind and your conscious mind, so you can continuously receive information to talk about during the conversation and have that natural conversational flow. I watched a series of lectures by a memory expert, a psychologist, and her specialty is dealing with trials, criminal trials, where there's a child involved, either as a witness or as a victim, and to see whether or not the child's memories are accurate or have been inadvertently implanted by adults. And she was saying that the idea that our memory is a perfect input-output system is absolutely false. We're supposed to have false memory. Having false memories is an evolutionarily beneficial trait. It is a feature, not a bug. For example, one way that we can create false memories is telling stories over and over again. Every time you tell the same story over and over again, you'll kind of embellish the story, particularly if you're the hero of the story. And this is good because in the old days of hunter-gatherers, if you could embellish your past, if you could make your memories better than they were, that would allow you to imagine a much better future. That would make you feel more confident about your future, so you could produce more in the future and replicate at a higher rate than somebody who didn't have an embellished memory. We also copy memories from other people. If you hear another person tell the same story over and over again, you'll start to remember that story as being part of your experience, part of your memory. And this allows young hunter-gatherers without a lot of experience to subconsciously copy memories from other hunter-gatherers that are more successful, so they can remember this success. So you can remember success even if it wasn't your success, and when you start to remember success as if it was your success, that will allow you to imagine a much better future, which will make you much more productive. So a good way to augment this conversational training technique is to, every time you have a conversation, whether or not you remember body language rapport, whether or not you remember to vibe conversationally, doesn't matter. Go home that night and imagine the conversation being better than it was. Augment the conversation. Deliberately create an embellished memory of that conversation. That will not only make you feel more confident about your future, but that will help you to remember what to do next time you're in a conversation, to remember body language rapport, to remember keeping your focus out of your head and into your body, to remember the conversational vibing technique, to remember to be open about what you share, to remember to ask questions from the other person and just allow yourself to vibe conversationally. I waited a couple of days before I decided to call her. Then I realized I didn't remember the number. So I called a bunch of random numbers that I thought were similar to the one I was supposed to remember and said, "Hi, I was at a party the other night. Were you dressed up as a devil, a red devil?" "No?" "Okay, thanks." "Hi, I was at a party the other night. Were you dressed up as a red devil?" "Okay, thanks." I called like 20, 30 people until I gave up, because as much as I was sure this was in the bag, as much as I was sure that I was in like Flynn, my memory failed me and I never saw that girl again. If you want to learn more about how to significantly improve your conversational skills, check out the links below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time.